Hello everyone. So today in this session I'm going to talk about the immune system. Now immune system it's a part of pathology, microbiology and biochemistry. So we can see the immune system in different perspective if you will. Now I intend to give you the biochemical perspective of the immune system. But in this process you'll learn lots of things about it. Picture this. Pathogen pundits try to gate crash. Your innate immunity crew, the immediate bouncers, are always at the door, ready for a quick non-specific tackle. But when these pundits are clever, your adaptive immunity, which is the CBI of your body, steps in. They gather intelligence, remember faces, and launch a targeted, precise molecular operation. It's all pure, unadulterated biochemistry. From the moment a pathogen, say Salmonella typhi, from that roadside pani puri, enters your immune system, there is an orchestration of an intricate biochemical ballet. There are two main pillars of your immune system: the innate immunity, which is your cellular SWAT team or bouncers, providing rapid non-specific defense via phagocytes, NK cells, and complement system. Then there's the adaptive immunity, which is your strategic intelligence agency. Slower initially, but generating specific receptors and immunological memory, which is the basis of vaccination. They're inextricably linked, communicating via molecular messengers like cytokines. In this video, we are going to delve deep into the immune system, but more specifically, the innate immunity, which is the first line of biochemical defense. In this, we begin with the first concept, which is pathogen recognition. So, innate cells recognize conserved molecular barcodes called PAMs and DAMs. Okay, so PAMs is just a short form of pathogen associated molecular patterns, and DAMs is danger associated molecular patterns. This is mediated by pattern recognition receptors or PRRs, and the most commonly known PRR is toll-like receptor or TLR. Now these TLRs are abundant in our immune cells. So an example is a TLR called TLR4. Okay, it is present on the macrophage, okay, which is an immune cell, right? It binds to LPS from a gram-negative bacteria, which acts as an antigen. It triggers an intracellular signaling cascade. Now these cascades of the immune system tend to be quite complex, okay, so we are not going to go into the depth of this cascade. I'm just going to say that once there is a connection of this TLR4 and LPS, a cascade begins, and this cascade activates several different kinases. And all these kinases basically finally activate the NF-kappa B, which is the nuclear factor kappa B. This is liberated and it translocates to the nucleus and acts as a transcription factor. As a transcription factor, it initiates gene transcription for crucial immune molecules. Now these molecules, yeah, you guessed it right, these are cytokines, okay, or chemokines or adhesion molecules. Now examples of the cytokines which are released by this cascade which we are talking about is TNF-α, interleukins 1 and 6. So here we can talk about a clinical pearl. I'm pretty sure all of you know what sepsis is, right? It's like a very severe systemic infection. Dysregulation of the TLR signaling cascade can lead to sepsis, and that's a major cause of mortality in ICUs. Now that we have talked about the recognition, next we are going to talk about something called phagocytosis. Okay, you can also imagine phagocytosis as the molecular acid attack. Okay, so once engulfed in a phagolysosome, these microorganisms or antigens, whatever the body wants to destroy immediately, right? Phagocytes unleash a potent biochemical weapon, the oxidative burst or the respiratory burst. It's the same thing, the oxidative or the respiratory burst. The key enzyme is NADPH oxidase or NOX2. It catalyzes the reduction of molecular oxygen using NADPH. Now, NADPH, if you may recall, has been synthesized by the body from the pentose phosphate pathway. Now, this produces the highly reactive superoxide radical. Superoxide is converted to hydrogen peroxide, and then in neutrophils, myeloperoxidase uses hydrogen peroxide and chloride to form highly toxic hypochlorous acid or HOCl. This is the active ingredient in bleach. Now, these reactive oxygen species, HOCl, H2O2, superoxide, cause massive oxidative damage to microbial proteins, lipids, and DNA, leading to their killing. Now, a clinical relevant point here is, have you heard about this disease called chronic granulomatous disease, or in short CGD? So, patients suffering from this disease have a genetic defect in NADPH oxidase, and that's why they suffer from recurrent severe infections, which highlights this pathway's biochemical necessity. Now, coming to the last segment of the innate immunity, which we are going to talk about today, is the complement system. The complement system is a collection of over 30 plasma proteins that activate in an amplification cascade to destroy pathogens. Three pathways exist, the classical, the lectin, and the alternative pathway. All converge on the central component, which is a C3. C3 is a protein, by the way. They lead to the formation of C3 convertase, a serine protease complex that cleaves C3 into two critical fragments, C3a and C3b. C3a is a very small yet potent anaphylatoxin. Anaphylatoxin is basically the one which causes inflammation and is a chemoattractant. C3b is a larger fragment and it's a powerful opsonin that covalently attaches to the pathogen, which tags it for phagocytosis. So you can see how these proteins can be very valuable in assisting with the innate immunity. The cascade continues to form C5 convertase, which cleaves C5 into C5a and C5b. C5a again is another anaphylatoxin. The C5b initiates the terminal pathway, recruiting C6, C7, C8, and multiple copies of C9 to polymerize and form the MAC or the membrane attack complex. The MAC creates a transmembrane pore, disrupting osmotic integrity and causing osmotic lysis, which completely bursts the pathogen. So it completely destroys the pathogen. So you can see how powerful the complement system is. This brings us to the conclusion of the first part of our immune system, which is the innate immunity. So in this, we understood the two major pillars of our immune system, which is the innate and the adaptive immunity. And we delved deep into the innate immunity. Specifically, we have talked about three major systems in place in our bodies, which are part of the innate immunity. The first one was the pathogen recognition via TLRs. The second was the phagocytosis or the molecular acid attack. And finally, we talked about the complement system, right? So hope you understood what we talked about in this video, and hope to see you in the next video, which will be the adaptive immunity, which would be the precision molecular warfare of our bodies. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon.